She weaponized city inspectors against my fence, and accidentally got her own house demolished. I was sitting in my favorite faded canvas lawn chair, sipping a cold, condensation-beaded bottle of beer, listening to the magnificent, mechanical roar of a yellow caterpillar excavator violently tearing the roof off my neighbor's prized, custom-built, she shed. The heavy diesel engine growled, the hydraulic arm snapped a massive wooden support beam like a dry twig, and a cloud of expensive fiberglass insulation rained down onto the muddy earth. My neighbor was standing on her back porch, openly weeping into a floral handkerchief, watching $60,000 of unpermitted construction be reduced to splintered plywood and twisted metal. She was losing her sanctuary, her savings, and her sanity, all because she couldn't mind her own business. My name is Gabriel. I am a 34-year-old civil engineer, which means my entire professional existence is governed by precision, strict municipal codes, rigid structural boundaries, and an unyielding respect for the rules of infrastructure. When I am not designing load-bearing retaining walls or analyzing urban drainage systems for the city, I am an obsessive, meticulous DIY enthusiast. 6 months ago, I closed on a beautiful, mid-century modern fixer-upper in a quiet, leafy suburb. It was the culmination of a decade of saving every spare penny. I was exhausted, carrying a 30-year mortgage on my back, but I was overwhelmingly proud. I wanted nothing more than to renovate my quiet little slice of the world in absolute peace. Unfortunately, I had inadvertently moved in right next door to Mrs. Gable. Mrs. Gable was the self-appointed, universally feared captain of the neighborhood watch. She was a woman in her late 60s who patrolled the sidewalks with the aggressive, suspicious energy of a prison warden, armed with a perfectly manicured silver bob, pastel floral blouses, and the aura of someone who had never been told no in her entire adult life. Our very first interaction set the stage for the absolute psychological warfare that would consume the next half year of my life. It was moving day. The temperature was hovering around 95 degrees, the humidity was suffocating, and my shirt was plastered to my back with cold sweat. I was standing on a heavy aluminum step ladder near my front porch, using my high-end, brushless motor Makita impact driver to drill a mounting bracket into the brick fascia for a 4K security camera. I was entirely in the zone, focused on keeping the masonry bit perfectly level, when I heard the sharp, aggressive throat clearing from the sidewalk behind me. I paused, lowered the drill, and turned around. Mrs. Gable had marched straight across my freshly cut lawn, completely bypassing the paved walkway, and was glaring up at me with an expression of profound disgust. She didn't introduce herself. She didn't welcome me to the neighborhood. She didn't offer a polite wave. She just pointed a single, bony finger at my right hand. "You, boy, hand me that drill right now," she commanded, her voice sharp and grating, carrying the undeniable tone of a woman giving an order to a subordinate. I blinked, wiping a bead of stinging sweat from my eye with the back of my dusty wrist, genuinely trying to process if I had misheard her over the distant hum of the moving truck. "Excuse me. Hi, I'm Gabriel. I just bought the—" "I don't care what your name is," she interrupted, crossing her arms tightly over her chest. "One of the floorboards on my back patio is loose. It's a tripping hazard. Give me the drill so I can screw it back down before my bridge club arrives." I looked down at my expensive, heavy-duty power tool, then back at her entirely serious, demanding face. I forced a polite, neighborly smile, desperately trying to start off on the right foot despite her incredibly abrasive approach. "I am actually right in the middle of sinking these masonry anchors, ma'am. I can't really stop right now, but once I finish getting these cameras mounted and the truck unloaded, I would be more than happy to come over and take a look at your floorboard for you." Mrs. Gable's eyes narrowed into tiny, furious slits. Her jaw set so hard I thought her teeth might crack. She took a step closer to the ladder, completely invading my personal space. "You are incredibly unneighborly and selfish," she hissed. She spun around on her sensible orthotic heels and marched back across my lawn, intentionally kicking a stray piece of packing styrofoam onto my driveway as she left. "If you think this is just a story about a grumpy old woman complaining about a power drill, brace yourself. Over the next 6 months, this petty dispute is going to escalate into a full-blown suburban Cold War that pushes me to my absolute breaking point. And then she gets what she deserved. Kindly follow on-screen instructions for full video.